Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
And welcome to the Comic Queens podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Annie. And today we are going to be reading things together for the first time in a while.
Yes, we have given each other assignments. We love a good assignment.
I mean, look at us. It's a nice thing to check off the list. I think the ultimate goal here was that Alex and I have been reading a lot of different series from one another. And when we first started doing all of this, we were reading the same things at the same time.
Yes.
Usually live reactions even. But it's gotten to the point that we're reading so many different things that it's great. Gives us a nice variety. But then we don't have as many things that we're both talking to each other about and reacting live about.
Mm-hmm.
So we needed to get back on track.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be discussing a couple of series that we've assigned to each other so that we have someone to read along with and we have somebody to discuss them with because that's important. So to dive right in, one of the first ones that I was assigned is Adopting a Zombie. This is on Webtoon. It is 15 episodes so far. And it is a BL post-apocalyptic story. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say you stuck with a theme on this one.
I did, and I didn't even mean to.
I was only assigned 2 stories, and they are both boy love apocalyptic stories. So this story follows Lawrence. He is a doctor, and it's not very clear as to why he's not really practicing professionally anymore. But he lives in kind of like a compound almost.
He gives off mad scientist vibes.
Yeah, definitely mad scientist. Like, that was my inkling. I was like, oh no, he's not allowed to be a scientist anymore.
Someone has told him stop.
And it becomes very obvious why very early on. So as we meet Lawrence, he's kind of observing all of these zombies that are walking around. And he goes, I'm taking that one. And he captures this zombie, ties him up shirtless in some room of his apartment. And he's like, I'm just going to start cooking him meat and see what happens. You learn that he is trying to study zombies because he wants to develop a cure so that he can help revert zombies from this form to becoming human again. So he just goes and he's like feeding steak to this zombie who's all tied up. And he's, making sure to like knock him out. And then he's doing like little procedures on him. And he goes, there was a lump in his throat. I wonder if all the zombies have that. And just using him as a test subject. But this does very quickly backfire as the zombie becomes aware of his surroundings and is now able to communicate. And I love this part because the zombie kind of scolds Lawrence for being a weirdo. It is just such a brilliant dynamic. So you have this zombie sitting there like arms folded. He's like, why are you force feeding me? And why am I always shirtless? Can you give me some clothes? And Lawrence is like, ooh, about that. I would give you some of my clothes, but I don't like doing laundry. So they're all kind of gross. And the zombie's just grossed out. He's like, you could have not told me that, actually. Like, thanks a lot. I guess I'll go without that. But they realize that the zombie has changed. So he has one eye that's white now, which is how the zombies look as they're changing from a human into a zombie. It's like when they're first initially bitten or transforming. And then the other eye is red, like a zombie. But there are a few distinct characteristics of what's going on. So this zombie starts getting like massive headaches. And he's starting to get like a flood of old memories back, which he was very distant from in his zombie-like state. So there are definitely some side effects of what's going on. But Lawrence makes it clear like, oh, I'm going to help you because I want to make sure that you can stay at least in this state and can communicate. And it's nice that he can talk now because now Lawrence can ask him questions like, how do you and other zombies interact with one another? And he's like, I mean, we can understand one another, but we don't. And so the zombie's telling him, he's like, I mean, really, you just kind of walk around and no one talks to you. And Lawrence is writing it down. He's like, he's a loner. He's a loser.
I love it.
They could communicate. They just don't want to communicate to this one. Which is so wild coming from Lawrence, who is absolutely a loner and kind of a freak himself.
Yeah.
So it's definitely an odd couple vibe. But they also have a situation with the fact that Lawrence's neighbors are very nosy. So they live in this like restricted housing area and everyone's under very strict rules because everyone who lives there isn't a zombie and they want to keep it that way. And so it seems like it's managed by a landlord, and then the landlord is also like under advisement from this board of doctors. Mm-hmm. And one of the neighbors is just like, you're making a bunch of noise. You're doing something sketchy in there. I'm going to try to like foil whatever plans you've got going. And they can definitely sniff that something weird is happening. And the landlord's just this little old lady who doesn't care. She's like, I think he's fine, and can't pronounce his name or anything. And so the board of doctors eventually comes in. They're like, this neighbor will not shut up about this guy, and something weird has to be going on. And the doctors recognize Lawrence's name. Mm-hmm. So you learn that they were formerly colleagues. And that's kind of how you find out Lawrence isn't employed with them anymore, probably because he's a weirdo. But the doctors seem very intrigued by this, especially a ginger doctor. And he is like, you can tell there's something nefarious going on. Maybe they were like work rivals, whatever else. But eventually you find out that both of them are now fighting to make a cure for the zombies. And Lawrence is not standing for that.
No.
He does not like this ginger-haired guy. And you know what? Me either. I like Lawrence. He's awkward. I can relate to that more. So Lawrence is like, okay, too many people are reporting my actions. I need to leave here. I can't stay in this apartment. But we're going to like find you some new clothes. We're going to go to the mall that's abandoned and we'll find you some new clothes. And then we'll continue doing studies on you. It'll be fine. So they leave and everything is not fine. They do get the zombie new clothes, but they also end up realizing that he's still getting those pains in his head and this flood of old memories. You're able to see him meet like his little sister and have dinner with his family. And while he's going through this excruciating pain, Lawrence goes, I'm going to go and find you something to help, like some medicine or something. I'll be back. And then kidnappers capture the zombie. They go, this is a weak one. We're taking him.
Yep.
Where to? Who knows? But there's these three guys who decide that that's their zombie now. So Lawrence starts playing along with this. They've captured the poor zombie, who we now know as named Bo. And they capture him, and Lawrence is like, you caught a zombie, pretending like he doesn't know who it is so that he can sneak around and try to get the zombie back. And these three people haven't really revealed where their base is at or what their ulterior motives are. But Lawrence is definitely starting to get closer to the zombie. He just kind of like word vomits and says whatever's on his mind. And he uses him as a little confidant. And Bo himself is also just relieved when Lawrence comes back. He's like watching him just talk about whatever his stream of consciousness is. And he just goes, yeah, it's good that he's returned. It's nice to have him here.
He's a little odd, but at least he didn't kidnap me and put me in the back of a van.
Yeah, that is true. He did tie him up in a room, though.
I think he's forgotten about that part, though.
Yeah, tit for tat. It's fine. What's the difference? Tomato, tomato. So where we've left off, the kidnappers are all really exhausted from their journeys, and they end up all three falling asleep. And Lawrence ends up like steering the car away from crashing into a tree, which he's really bummed that everyone missed because he feels really cool after doing that.
Yeah.
You know, like some Tokyo Drift kind of stuff. But Lawrence ends up going to try to release Bo. And as they're trying to escape from the kidnappers, there are zombies that are headed towards them, and Bo can sense it. So Bo starts fighting them off, and they're trying to escape.
Yeah.
I love this one. It's so cute. It's really funny.
Yeah.
Like, I've laughed out loud at several different things that happened. It is just very cute, which I didn't expect for a post-apocalyptic story. So that was a breath of fresh air. And I'm going to keep reading it.
Good. I love this one so much. I just love Lawrence. He's so funny and kind of clueless.
He's kind of clueless. Definitely quirky.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a weirdo. But we love him for it. He's so good. This one was great. And I'm glad that it was different. Like, it's funny that I read two Boy Love post-apocalyptic stories because they are very different stories.
They are. Yeah, which is why I really didn't even put together that I was giving you same genre, because they don't feel like the same story at all.
Yeah, but they're perfect.
Yeah.
It's great. I love this. I like the range. So, it's nice to have range even within the same genres.
Well, the first one that I was assigned is Still It Rains. This is on Leeson. It is released every Thursday. There are currently 16 episodes. And this is a non-human group play supernatural mystery.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
I mean, honestly, I think that's all I could say about it.
It sums it up pretty nicely.
And it would be enough, but I'm going to tell you about the characters as well. So we start off, we have a cult that is Heaven's Harvest Sect, and they have a leader called Father, which is, I think a lot of cults call their leaders Father.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
And they believe that the Father will give them abundance through his body.
Yeah.
So we say is the cult leader, and he is you very quickly learn, not in charge.
Yeah.
At all. So
he's like the face.
Yeah, he's the face, and he is being held there against his will. We have a undercover journalist. His name is Gi-jun, and he is going in and pretending that he wants to join the cult so that he can get the scoop.
Yeah.
And it very quickly goes off the rails of what he thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
He is introduced to the Father while others are trying to get abundance from him. So he right away is like, what have I gotten myself into?
Am I going to have to do that? Yeah.
And so then we see that we say is dreaming of a god, a deity, which I love the deity, just as a nice aside.
I mean, we're going to get there, but that design is just impeccable.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he has a vision that Gi-jun is going to be the one that saves him. So the one who will open the lid. But he has no idea what that really means.
The assumption is there.
Yeah, he's like, I kind of get that he's important and he's going to be different and he's probably not going to like treat me the way that everyone else does. And so then he's like, I want that man as my bath attendant. So everyone else super crazy jealous because they want to spend more time with Father so that they can have abundance. And they're all like, Gi-jun is brand new. Why does he get to go and be the bath attendant? So he goes in and we say kind of says like, aren't you here for abundance? I'll give it to you. Like kind of tries to get him to do it. And Gi-jun is like, no. You've done enough today. Let me just bathe you and everything will be fine.
Yeah.
So we also see that like that is the only person who respects his boundaries. No one else is. Like, there's already been people who are just, like, grabbing him whenever. And his brother, his younger brother, is also a part of this cult. And he has to, like, step in and stop this other member from assaulting him in, like, not one of the designated times to assault him.
Yeah. I mean, it's tragic.
It's
the way
so
it's set
sad.
up.
It is so sad. So once Gi-jun doesn't like take advantage of him in the bathroom, he's like, okay, something is different about him. This is different. And so he goes to bed. The next day they wake up. There's another man there who is really the one who's in charge. His name is Elder Shin. And he sees that Gi-jun did not receive abundance the night before. And so he punishes Weesei for this by by caning him all up and down, like horrifically abusing him. And then he kind of stumbles into the bathhouse after that. And Weesei is not able to recover, which normally when he sleeps, when he wakes up the next day, he'll be fully recovered. No scars, anything.
Yeah.
And so Gi-jun is completely worried about all of these like markings on his back, but we say is like, it's never lasted before, so I think this will be fine.
Yeah.
And so this is when Gi-jun kind of realizes, oh, something's wrong here. This man is not in charge. He's being held here against his will.
Yeah, and it's also really clear when Elder Shen is like outside. And so they have to pretend.
Yeah.
Like we say is giving him abundance.
Yeah. So we say pretends. I put that he half pretends.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably a better way to put it. This is like their first like time together, really.
Yeah. So, and we see that Gi-jun is really starting to become attached to Wisei and is really the only person who treats him as if he is a person and not like an object or something to be taken advantage of. And so after this, we have an offering ritual. So because he's not healing, Elder Shen is like, the god is angry at you. He's not giving you abundance. You've been doing things wrong. We have to have an offering ritual. And so they set everything up. It's like this big table with all this food, and there's a spot in the middle that's open. Gi-jun and us are all wondering, why is that spot open in the middle? And then Wisei goes and sits in the middle of the table and is like the center of this offering.
Yeah, he is the offering.
Yeah. So they have to pray around him. It's not like they're praying to him, but like they're praying to offer him up to this god.
Yeah.
And Gi-jun also in the meantime has spoken to like secret police outside of, I think they're police. It could just be, it might be someone connected to the journalist more directly, but it seems like he's trying to get Gi-jun to leave. Yeah. It's like, you need to leave right now. Like you're in over your head. This is not okay. And he doesn't want to leave without Wisei. So he's like, can I bring someone with me?
Not advising that it is the face leader of the cult.
Yeah, the leader, quote. So he goes to Wisei and he's like, all right, you have to come with me. And at first Wisei is like, I knew that you were not here to receive abundance, and I'm going to forget that you said that to me, and you can just go. And so they have some back and forth. You find out that Wisei does not want to leave without his brother, Wee-young. And then you get their backstory, and you see that they have both been in Elder Shen's care since they were children. Yeah. And Wisei had to offer himself up to this god as a child in order to protect his brother. Because you see when he is going to meet the god for the first time, that Elder Shen is like, you better do this right, otherwise your brother is going to be next. So his whole life, he's just been doing this to protect his brother. Yeah. And so he's like, I can't leave without my brother. They eventually have a back and forth and decide that they will leave and then bring police back to save the brother. Yeah. So they leave. They don't make it far at all. Someone has caught their contact from the outside, like right away. Yeah. And they also get caught right away. And so they're pissed. Yeah. Like, they're like, oh, you're trying to leave. And Elder Shen kind of comes at it from like you've been corrupted by Gi-jun. He has put poison in your mind and made you want to leave. So they tie Gi-jun up. They horrifically assault as a group. We say. And then, spoilers, very big spoiler, because I was not expecting it. I don't know if you were expecting this, but I didn't read the description, so I don't even know if this is in the description or not. No. They step on Gi-jun's neck, and he dies. I was like, I'm sorry, what? Yeah. So he is gone, and Wisei is still trying to escape. And so Wee Young has come back at this point. He's trying to figure out what's going on. He was out and about. He has no idea why everyone is gone and being chased around. So Wee Young grabs Weesei and brings him out into the woods, and they escape. And then you find out that he was possessed by Gi-jun, and that is why he brought him out. Mm-hmm. So he leaves Wee Young. Wee Young is like totally confused again, like, why am I suddenly in the woods?
Yeah.
He gets captured by the cult, and Gi-jun is, I think, lying knowingly to Weesei, saying, your brother's gonna be fine. I'm sure he got away. Because he has to have known that he was captured again.
Yeah.
So he convinces him to go into the city. He's all alone now, walking into the city, and they're like, okay, we need to go to the police. So he walks up to a random man, shakes his hand, and is like, hello, brother, can you help me find the police? And the guy is like, get away from me, you crazy man.
Mm-hmm.
And so then Gi-jun kind of explains to him, because he grew up in a cult, he doesn't know how to interact with people. Mm-hmm. It's like, you don't just go and touch people that you don't know.
Probably doesn't help that he's talking to a ghost that like only he can see.
Yeah, and he's like, maybe don't call people brother.
Mm-hmm. Pointers.
So eventually they do make it to the police station, and as he's on the elevator on his way up, someone recognizes him. He runs into someone he knows that was at the cult previously. Mm-hmm. And that is where we leave off. And oh my gosh, this one is tragic. It is so sad. I feel so bad for Weesei. I can't believe that one of the main characters, or who I assumed was one of the main characters, I don't even know anymore, has already died.
Yeah.
Like, that was shocking to me.
It is just such a fresh take on what the insides of a cult could look like.
Yeah.
And how nothing is as it seems at all.
Yeah.
The art for this one, though, like, with the heartbreaking story and the art, I was like, I'm surprised I found this one first.
It's true. I mean, and the mystery, like, it's gonna be a wild ride.
Yeah.
I can feel already. And this one, I mean, waiting for every Thursday for this one to come out is going to be hard.
No, it's so hard. I mean, the cliffhangers every single episode.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I can't wait. I need to know who this person is and if he's going to be a good person or a bad person. My guess, bad person.
I think most everybody associated with the cult, it's a pretty safe guess.
Yeah.
They're not great people.
Yeah. But maybe he was also there undercover if he's a police officer, because he's at the police station. Devil's advocate.
I know, devil's advocate. Because I'm sitting here, I'm like, no, that means the police are corrupt too.
I thought, as soon as he said go to the police, I was like, no, they're probably corrupt.
So not devil's advocate, where the angels on the shoulder were like, this is what's actually happening.
Yeah.
But we can all hope.
Yeah, I hope that he doesn't have anything else bad happen to him for the rest of the story.
And I think you and I both know that's not how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But if you want one that is truly, I mean, the art is so beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
It is a really unique storyline from most everything else we're reading. I think it's perfect.
They give Weesei the most beautiful eyelashes ever.
I know. I just love him. I want him to be happy.
I do too. If he's happy with a ghost, and, you know, maybe we end up in like a throuple situation here.
Between him and the ghost and the god. Who's to say? Well, I'm so glad you're reading it. I'm every Thursday going to be calling you, as if I don't call you most every day, but...
Yeah, as if we won't probably already be together on a Thursday.
That is also true. So, I'm going to move forward to my last story assignment. I was assigned Haze Shift. I know we've talked about this one.
Yes.
But somewhat briefly, so I am going to go back through this. Haze Shift is on Webtoon. It currently has 26 episodes. It is also a post-apocalyptic boy love. Now, this story is impeccable. It's hard to find the words to put it into, but I just became so immediately enamored with the characters and the storyline. Everything is just so well crafted, and this art It's just such a unique concept.
It's so I love how they do the blood. It's just gorgeous. It looks like flowers. I mean, it is flowers.
It's like little poppies instead.
It's beautiful.
Love the censoring.
Yeah. This is one that I loved it on canvas, and it came to originals, and it's like 10 million times better than it already was when it was great already.
And honestly, I live for the little author notes at the bottom of every episode. Like the author draws their own little character at the bottom reacting to everything that just happened in the episode. Adorable. So if you have not read this one, the story follows Slade. He's our main character. He lives in Lochbane, and the way that it's drawn up, they don't give you a map, but they do insinuate that there are like 3 main places that people go. There's Lochbane, which is where all of the normal people are, or people they deem normal.
Yeah.
There's Edgeline, which is like the slums. So a lot of people who are trying to escape Lochbane, maybe they have things that are considered wrong with them or whatever else. It's just not like a great area. Pretty shifty. And then you have the Compound, which is where people are sent if they're seen as defective.
Yeah.
So Slade, fortunately, gets to grow up in Lochbane. However, it is post-apocalyptic, and there are these sudden storms that come on called haze shifts. These haze shifts are like it's assumed that it's some sort of just a gas that fills the air. You can't be out in it at all. And the story opens up with Slade's mother saying, hey, you need to go get your brother Rue from wherever he's at. She assumes he's just out in town and he needs to go grab him. But of course, his little mischievous brother, Reuben, and his friend have gone to Edgeline.
Yep.
And they weren't supposed to. So Slade is like, yeah, okay, I'll go get him. Like the good big brother who doesn't rat him out, you know, snitches get stitches. So Slade sneaks over to Edgeline, finds Reuben and his friend, and he goes, you guys got to get back. And all of a sudden, there's this kid, their same age, sees a necklace that Slade is wearing, and he just like rips it off and goes.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because the way that they work in that area is like bartering.
Yeah.
So they're like, the metal is precious and valuable.
And it has a bullet, which they also barter for as well. So Slade is not having this. That bullet was given to him by his late father. And he's like, I'm getting that fucking necklace back. So he tells Reuben to go back home. He starts chasing after this thief. And he sees the thief like climb into a little vent system to go into like a pocket of a building. And the haze shift starts coming. So he's like, I need shelter too. And the thief basically brings him in because, yeah, they might not be like the best of friends right now, but you could literally die if you're stuck in there. So Slade, as he's spending time with this thief, realizes that the thief is deaf. So he can't really communicate or understand much. But not only that, he really just stole because he needed to. He's on his own. He doesn't have anything to his name. And he does give the necklace back. So Slade is like, he's a nice person. It's just misunderstood. We come from different backgrounds. You know, he's a good person. And so Slade, once the haze shift is lifted, goes back home. And unfortunately, Reuben, his little brother, and his mom reported him missing to the law enforcement officers. And these LEO, they go through and perform things called purges in Edgeline where they just, it seems like mercilessly dispose of people.
Yeah.
And so they are not shy to trying to get rid of this person who's a supposed kidnapper. And Slade tries time and time again to tell them that he wasn't kidnapped. He's like, I was not kidnapped. This person sheltered me while the haze shift happened. And law enforcement officers are immediately like, don't trust him. I bet that the person told him to say that so that they wouldn't get in trouble.
Yeah.
And so they say, you need to keep Slade at home. I'm going to go patrol the area and we'll make sure we catch this kidnapper and give him his due justice. And Slade is just terrified. He's like, this poor kid is trying to survive on his own. He didn't hurt me. He's not a problem. And he does eventually get his library card so he can go out and get books and just leave his house finally. In doing so, he finds a sign language book and he goes and immediately thinks of the boy. So he takes that sign language book, and as soon as law enforcement kind of gives up a little bit on finding this kid, he goes back to Edgeline and knows exactly where to go to find him. Mm-hmm. And he starts teaching the boy sign language. I literally bawled. And it could just be the state that I'm in currently, that I'm extra emotional. But this part where he's teaching the boy, who we now know as Calico, sign language was absolutely precious. Mm-hmm. He starts out by teaching him chocolate. He gives him like a chocolate bar. And Calico gets so excited to start learning sign language that he's just pointing excitedly at things that he does know. So he points at a lamp and he shows him light. And then when he points at Slade to ask Slade who he is, he says friend. And I literally like ugly sobbed. I was just sitting in a chair like, oh my God, wiping tears from my face. So if you want one that is just so touching and adorable, there are those moments as well. However, after Slade is teaching him sign language, a few years pass and you see that this becomes the normal. So Slade and Calico have now found sign language as a tool to communicate with one another. Mm-hmm. And so Calico is able to kind of use this as a survival tool and everything else. But his life is still difficult in Edgeline. Like after Calico had law enforcement agents looking for him, there were people in Edgeline who were, you know, about to cause him physical harm or dispose of him because they're like, how dare you make officers come around here? And Slade has to kind of save him from that. Slade is looking out for him, and he has to leave after he gets his doctor's visit. They do like annual exams to make sure that everyone's okay. And so he goes to visit Edgeline and comes back the next morning. And his mom says, hey, this law enforcement agent is here. We just have to go back to the doctor to do a few more scans. And it turns out that when Slade went to the doctor, he was found as defective because they see some sort of like an indicator in his eye that he's going to go blind. So his mom and this detective are actually driving him to the compound.
Yeah. The mom knew.
And the mom, I was appalled. My jaw was on the floor. I was like, you're a bad mom. But the mom is in the car and she goes, yeah, you're going to the compound. You were found as defective. Like, I love you. Sorry. And poor Slade is just disposed of there.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a prison cell. They just put people to work and they're like, make use of yourself because you don't have any use otherwise. And it fast forwards 6 years, he's stuck there. So even though he promised Calico he would come back, he ends up not being able to go back to see him. And now he's imprisoned for 6 years. Mm-hmm. So he makes a new friend named Ed, who is there because he only has one leg. And Slade's entire goal at this point is, I need to find a way to escape. Like, he's working on this railroad track. He sees a couple other people try to escape there as well. And they don't make it out because the law enforcement agents shoot at them.
Yeah.
But Slade is really determined to get out. He's like, I can't stay here any longer. His mom doesn't even come to visit him.
His mom has never been to visit him. His brother does come to visit him, which is where he learns that like a huge haze shift is coming.
Yeah, like to the point that people are prepping for it a month in advance.
And it's like part of the reason he wants to get out so bad is because he wants to go and warn Calico.
Yeah, he goes, I don't know where Calico is, but I need to make sure that he knows and warn him. And he needs to be able to be prepared as well. Like, I don't know what information they have on the outside, but he assumes that it's news that's kind of more for Lockbane residents only.
Yeah. It kind of seems like he had like an idea. He wanted to escape, but he never really had a motivator. And then this was like the last straw of like, oh, I have to get out now.
Yeah. So he is working out on this railroad. He steals a railroad spike. And Ed works with like blacksmithing. So he ends up cleverly getting an imprint of the guard's key on his dusty hand and then putting it on a piece of paper for Ed to like match this railroad spike to like shave it down into the key shape. And so Slade is able to use this to escape. And Ed gives him some extra items. He's like, I'd never make it out on the outside, but I have this lantern that you can use. And
what did you think about the note?
I cried again. I'm a mess, Alex. Is that what you want me to say? I cried so hard at just Ed being like, there's not any hope for me. I want you to live for me. Like, go have experiences. I can't make it out. I could literally cry talking about it.
It's so sad. That part, like, I really didn't see it coming that he was not planning to go with them. Because when they're planning the escape, it is for both of them. Slade is wanting to go out with Ed, and Ed is like, I can't. I'll bring you down.
I know. And so you also see Slade, you know, he hasn't lost hope. He obviously has this motivator now as to why he needs to escape and everything else. But his sight really is going very quickly. So he has like the picture that he took with Calico, and he can barely even see it, even though it's close to his face. And he's like, I will eventually be fully blind. Like, this is just something I have to do. So he goes to escape. It's not very smooth. He does use the key. It works. He takes the items. But LEOs end up finding him, and they end up shooting him in the arm. And Slade is able to escape and take the gun with him, but he does have damage.
Yeah.
And now he's also a wanted person because he escaped from the compound.
Yeah. And he has a huge bounty on him, so everyone is looking for him.
Yeah. It's, for him, I think it was wanted dead or alive, but he ends up going, and he does have like a couple of bullets within the gun that he stole. So he goes, okay, I can use these for bartering. He sells some stuff for bread. And he's living out of dumpsters because it's really cold outside. And so he's just trying to find some place to keep him warm. But also, he's now, like, bleeding out of his arm. So he knows that his time is, you know, going to be a little rough ahead.
Yeah.
But as he's going into town to do all the bartering, he sees a wanted poster for Calico. And he's like, oh, he's wanted alive. So he's alive somewhere. He has to be.
Yeah.
That's just the hope that he's clinging on to. And as he goes into this back alley, somebody recognizes him and is trying to catch him for the high bounty on his head. And an LEO, or not an LEO. No, he was dressed as a Phantomeye.
Yeah.
So a person from the Phantomeye gang that lives in Edgeline comes up behind that bounty hunter and ends up attacking him. And Slade is like, great, I'm going to have to kill this guy too because I need to survive. And when the person takes their helmet off, the Phantomeye is actually Calico. So they're reunited again, and they immediately hug. It is like the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. And they both look rough. They both look like they've been through the fucking ringer at this point. Mm-hmm. So Calico brings him back to his base. He's made new friends. So he has Larkspur and Ina. And Ina is a tinkerer, so she, like, steals the gun that Slade had on him, and she's trying to work on it. And Larkspur is hesitant to bring other people in because they don't have much room, and they want to keep their identities and everything else secret.
Well, Calico is hesitant too. Like, he immediately was relieved, but then he's like, where have you been for 6 years? Because he never knew that he got, not arrested, but that he had to go to the compound.
Yeah, and he had literally counted on the days on the wall. It was the wall covered. It just was so sad. You can see just the heartbreak in his eyes of feeling abandoned, but also feeling relieved. Yeah. And it's just these conflicting feelings that keep popping up. And Slade makes it clear, like, I don't want to be a burden on you guys. I'll go back to Locksbane. Like, my entire goal was to find Calico. And I had to warn him, and now you guys, that a huge haze shift is coming and you need to be prepared. So they have secret plans that they're like, okay, we need to push these forward now and start acting on this. And Slade and Calico are working on repairing their relationship because Calico is hurt that Slade never came back. Slade is also not wanting to hang around and be a burden because he knows that his sight is going, but Calico doesn't. And so they pretty quickly clear up that miscommunication, but Calico's really hurt to hear that Slade's plans are to leave again. And he's like, yeah, why should I trust you? Because you left me last time. So they do end up working through it. Slade tells him he's going blind and that he doesn't want to be a burden. And Calico makes it very clear that's not what you are to me. So don't do that. And where we've left off, there is somebody who's trying to get the bounty on Slade's head. And Calico and Slade end up fighting him off. And Calico almost kills him. But Slade says, no, we should capture him and like talk to him and get more information. And so now everyone's just trying to prepare for this impending hay shift that's coming and also not get caught. It is such a good story.
I love this one so much. This is one that I do by the pre-released episodes, the coin-only episodes. So I am like 5 episodes ahead of where you are. But oh my gosh, I just love this one so much.
They are so sweet for one another. Their friendship, I mean, the best way I can put it is they have brought me to tears. And this one, I mean, whereas we had Adopting a Zombie, which is a lot more lighthearted and almost just like that comedy BL post-apocalyptic story, Hay Shift is so different. It has those darker themes. Yeah. It's just heartbreaking. But there's just that sense of desperation throughout the entire thing. And having each other as found family and both being found defective, but finding the good in each other. It is just beautiful.
Yeah, and there are so many stunning panels, like just individual panels that are just gorgeous.
I will be getting a tattoo from this one. There is no doubt in my mind. I've already planned it in my head.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of want it where it's like a poppy on the back of my arm and then smoke coming out of it.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
So, you heard it here first, folks.
Happening in a future near you.
In a future near you. I'll tell you all about it.
Well, we have one more. This one is A Wicked Husband. And now, I gave you 2 kind of softer stories, I would say. Mm-hmm. You did not.
What is soft about me bawling my eyes out twice?
Just, yeah, I guess. But it has like a sweet love story in it.
Yeah.
That you can tell. And these ones, not so much.
There's a sweet love story. It's just kind of, you have to dig a little.
In A Wicked Husband?
Hard to say. It's early on.
Okay. We'll see. So this one is on Manta. It's a Friday release. There are 14 episodes. It is a romantasy story, and also it is a hot guy story, not a guy with great personality.
Okay. You need to give me a break here, and let's just clear the air. That is probably the majority of what I'm reading. I'll say it right here, right now. And just an honest confession.
I mean, they're not wrong. He is beautiful.
Yeah, this man had me in a chokehold. Yeah. Like, first panel.
So this is the same artist as Betrayal of Dignity.
Who I love.
We all know how much we loved the Betrayal of Dignity art. Like, it was just stunning.
This is somehow even just a step up from that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So our main character, Eileen, her eyes are just like the most stunning, vibrant green ever. Mm-hmm. And we have our other main character, Archduke Cesare. He is the most unhinged man ever.
Yeah.
But at least he's upfront about it.
Yeah, he's kind of put it all out there. He doesn't pull any punches. But this man couldn't be more perfect.
Yeah.
He was made in a lab for us. He's got the tan skin, the dark hair, the red eyes.
Red eyes. Oh my gosh. Covered in blood.
Yeah. I mean, what more can you want?
So we start off with our main character, Eileen. She is making narcotics. Mm-hmm. And it's illegal.
It is.
What she is doing is trying to create pain medicine for people, or other medicines that would be helpful. Yeah. But it's still illegal at this point.
Yeah. There was an ongoing war.
Yeah. So she was trying to help.
Yeah. She realizes a lot of soldiers sustained injuries. Mm-hmm. She's not trying to do it to like harm anyone, but it is seen as highly addictive. Yeah.
So she is immediately caught. Mm-hmm. And by our Archduke Cesare.
Yeah.
And he comes to her with a proposal.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
Literally.
And he says, okay, look, I am going to have to kill you for your crimes. But, on the other hand, you could marry me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I won't have to kill you because you'll be the Archduchess.
Yeah, how am I supposed to kill you if you're my wife?
And she says no. She's like, oh, I don't think so.
To be fair, they have a colored history.
Yeah.
They've known each other a while.
Oh my gosh, I did love when he's like, wow, that's a hit to the ego. You'd rather die than marry me?
No kidding, Eileen. Savage.
So we do see that we get some of her backstory, and you said like they have a very colored backstory together. So we see that Eileen's mother was the nursemaid for the Archduke.
Mm-hmm.
And so she grew up in the palace around him.
Mm-hmm.
And you find out that they were pretty close.
Yeah.
But her mom is like an abusive piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, no other way to say it. Just mean to her all the time and for no reason. Like, as an example, there's a memory that she has when they are dancing together. And later, her mom is, like, berating her and saying, like, how could you waste the Duke's time by making him dance with you? Mm-hmm. And just like that all the time. Yeah. So she has that. Her father is a gambling addict. Mm-hmm. So he's, you know, also not on the up and up.
Nope.
So she unfortunately has struggled with this all of her life.
She's made the most out of it.
Yes, and she still was happy, but like those circumstances were
overcoming the odds than her being set up for a good future.
Yeah. So since her father was a gambling addict, we find out that he sold Eileen to another old man.
Yeah, like another old, lesser-known nobility.
Yeah. And he comes to collect her at one point. He's like, hey, it's me, your husband. I'll be back in 3 days. Collect your affairs. And she's like, oh, no.
You. In no uncertain terms, no.
Her father at this point is also missing. Yeah. So she has to go out and look for him. She's like, ugh, he's probably gambling again. She puts on a costume. She like dresses up as a man so that she doesn't get accosted on the streets. It doesn't work. She still has people attack her. Not attack, but like they confront her. Yeah. And then you find out one of the personal guards of Cesare is there and like kind of swoops in and is like, what are you doing?
I also just need to aside that I love this guard.
I did
because
too.
It becomes very obvious that he was in that part of town because he was at like this, not like a burlesque bar, but it was definitely like almost like a strip club.
So funny. He was like, what are you doing here?
And I'm not here for anything in particular.
So we have all of that going on, and it's like there's some back and forth. So you see some of the history, like when he came back from the war and he gave her a lily flower. Mm-hmm. And so he's drawn attention to her like immediately. Yeah. Everyone's like, who is this woman that he is giving a flower to? Like, why is she getting special treatment? Mm-hmm. He's apparently supposed to marry someone else. Yeah. And this other Archduchess, they all go to a ball. He invited her to the ball. She like doesn't take it seriously, doesn't wear the ball gown, is like, I'm just gonna wear my normal everyday clothes. She shows up and is like way underdressed and everyone
mercilessly picked apart.
All of the other women, kind of led by the Archduchess, are like, what is going on?
And the Archduchess is a bitch.
Yeah, she is. She does it in a way, like, she's very two-faced. She's very nice to her kind of up front, but then also is talking bad about her to all the other ladies.
Is saying, like, obviously this is just one of Cesare's, you know, orphaned people that he's so gracious to take care of.
Yeah. And he's like, no, this is my wife.
Nay.
So they go out they have the dance cards.
Mm-hmm.
And her dance card is full. She was like, I was not planning on staying.
Yeah.
I don't want a full dance card. But the first spot is open, and it's open so that Cesare can put his name there. Mm-hmm. They go out into the garden, and he's like, you have to dance with me. That's when she has the flashback of the dance with her, or with him in the past, and her mom being just an absolute asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And while they're in there, there's a huge assassination attempt on him.
Yeah.
Like, that panel, I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening?
Yeah.
It's like in all of the corners of everywhere.
Very well orchestrated.
Yeah, and then that is when we see him come in to the ball covered in blood. And he makes this huge announcement of like, is that the best you've got? You've got to try harder if you want to assassinate me. I killed all of those motherfuckers.
I don't know if that was the exact words, but the vibes were there.
That was how he felt about it. I could tell.
I love how he's in the middle of trying to like talk and woo Eileen, and then he just goes, close your eyes.
I know.
Like she doesn't know what's happening.
Oh my gosh. That was wild. I skipped over this, but he's the one who kidnapped her father too, and is the reason that her father cannot be found.
Yeah, he is a walking red carpet even.
He is manipulating so hard right now that I'm a little concerned at what is to come in the future.
Yeah, at least when it was Betrayal of Dignity and you had Damien just being kind of like an asshole, but, you know, at least his plots were a little bit better hidden. Like, this entire opening of the story is just already a plot.
Yeah, we already know he's a red flag.
Yeah.
And so eventually, I mean, she does too. And she doesn't care. Like, she made a friend, and this friend is someone who she knows from when she was selling these narcotics to people. And she comes to warn her about Cesare. And says, like, he may be nice to you, but it is all a front. Yeah. Like, he's doing an act for you. And she's like, I don't care. I love him.
And you know what?
Like, I get it.
I respect it, Eileen.
So, yeah, I mean, that's really it. We're still kind of setting the scene. We're trying to put all the pieces together. They're kind of both obsessed with each other, which I love. You're right. It is a love story.
Yeah. It's just unhinged.
So unhinged. I can't wait to see where this one goes. I love it.
Yeah.
So much. The art is stunning. It is, like, keeping me on my toes every single time.
And I'm just sitting here in the back of my head trying to figure out how much of everything is orchestrated by him.
Yeah, especially when he's already telling us that it is.
I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if he was the person who set up the gambling and like tried to push the father to sell Eileen so that Eileen was pushed into his arms instead.
Absolutely. I think that could be what happens.
Yeah.
There's also another guy who comes in at the very end of this last episode and is like kidnapping her and says that he's going to marry her. Mm-hmm. So we have a third person in here who's trying to marry her. We know who she's going to marry. But also, where did this guy come from?
And you know what? As long as they end up together, I'm here for the bumpy red flag road that we're going to be headed down.
I think he might venture into black flag territory eventually.
The several murders haven't indicated that to you. What murder?
I guess that's, yeah, maybe, but we'll see.
I mean, how many times have we excused it before? So,
how many murderers have we talked about positively on here?
How many murderers does it take for the Comma Queens to actually get the ick? And the answer is a lot higher than it should be. The limit does not exist.
We still haven't found the answer.
The world may never know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love it. I'm so glad you made me read this one.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm so happy. Mostly because I know no one else either that's reading this.
Yeah.
So we're back on track.
Read it.
Read it. Read all of them.
Yeah.
They're all great.
Yeah.
I mean, well, maybe if you don't like some of the themes of some of the other ones, if they're too sad, you don't have to.
Yeah.
We're not trying to be bullies.
Yeah, we're not going to bully you into reading things that are going to make you sad. But if you enjoy being sad as much as I do, read these.
And with that, on such a cheerful note, thank you all so, so much for joining us. And we're looking forward to talking to you all on the next one.
Goodbye.
Bye.